Good morning, students. Hope you are doing well. Last week I was in my hometown, so unable to create any video, but now I am back and we are going to discuss every single thing every day. Alright, so in this video we are going to discuss about Mikhail Bakhtin's concept of dialogism, polyphony, heteroglossia, chronotope. Mikhail Bakhtin was a Russian philosopher. Okay, he was under the Soviet Union at that time. The government was of Stalin. So we have a lot of works which is written on the Stalin government. For example, Animal Farm by George Orwell. So Animal Farm is again a work which criticizes the Soviet Union. And Mikhail Bakhtin was a philosopher, but then he started living in exile due to the fear of Stalin. And then his whole discoveries, you can say concept, was found in 1960s. Okay, he was born around 1870s, or you can say 1880s. He was born in these years, but then his all concepts was found in 1916s. You see dialogism, polyphony, heteroglossia, chronotope, and they got very popular in 1960s, but then he died in 1970s, just before he started exploring his concept of Carnivalesque. Yes, this concept of Carnivalesque is one of the most popular concept among his all concepts. Dialogism was there in Problems of Dostoevsky's Poetics 1929. So please make a note of all these concepts. Dialogism was there in Problems of Dostoevsky's Poetics 1929. The same polyphony is again the Problems of Dostoevsky. It came here. Heteroglossia is another concept which was there in the Dialogic Imagination. It is a collection of 4 essays. And then Chronotope is again a part of Dialogic Imagination. Carnivalesque is Rabelais and His World 1965. Okay, so these all are the points that you should be remembering for your examination. These are the low hanging fruits. They can simply ask you from where these concepts came, what all are the novels or what all are the publications where you can find polyphony, where you can find heteroglossia. Now discuss all of them one by one in detail. So here we have the concept of dialogism. It's very easy to understand. Let's take an example. If I look at a mobile phone of a student and if I say him, hey bro, hey student, or beta, your apple looks really good. It does not mean that I'm saying that the fruit of apple. I'm not saying that your apple looks good. I'm referring to the mobile phone, and the student will immediately understand that sir is talking about my mobile phone. So the word apple here has the meaning of technology, like the mobile technology. If I say to a student, your apple looks good, your phone looks like an apple, it does not mean that I'm talking about the fruit apple. It means I'm talking about the technological thing, apple. So Bakhtin says the meaning emerges from the understanding of past and present. Fusion of past and present creates the meaning. What is the meaning of apple in the past? Technological thing. A student will immediately understand it, that he is talking about the apple. Teacher is talking about the apple phone, not the apple fruit. So that's what dialogism is all about. You see, meaning does not come from one person speaking alone. What I am speaking, meaning is not arising from what I am speaking. Meaning is arising from the apple technology which already exists in the past. Meaning is not arising but I am speaking. It does not exist alone. Instead, all words exist in relation with other words that has occurred in the past. Apple can have several meanings, and according to the student's understanding of the past, he can understand what the teacher is talking about. Okay, let's see here. The fruit. Apple can have different meanings. The fruit, it can be a technological company. It can be having the forbidden fruit. Biblical reference is there. Okay, apple could be something which is knowledge is sin. So that could be an apple. So meaning does not come from a speaker alone. Meaning does not come from the person who is listening to the word. The words already exist in the past, and that creates meaning. Okay, I hope you understood this. Bakhtin explains dialogism to the words swimming through an ocean. What are the words? Words are swimming through an ocean of words already existing. Bakhtin is saying that meaning emerges through the conversation between past and present. Again, it is very easy to understand. Just one example. If I look at the watch of a student, I say, It looks like you are wearing apple. It does not mean that he is wearing the fruit apple. He is wearing the Apple Watch. That's what I am trying to communicate. But the meaning changes because the person has the understanding. He knows that Apple means the technology. So meaning also is a conversation between past and present. I hope you understood this point. Dialogism means the conversation between past and present. Now here we have two types of discourses. We have monologic discourse and we have dialogic discourse. Monologic discourse, when an you can say dictator, Hitler says that this is the truth and no one can question it. So that is monologic discourse. When we have dialogic discourse, that is multiple voices are playing the role. Multiple voices are playing the role. That is dialogism. Multiple voices that happened, the meaning that was there in the past, the meaning that is generally created in the present moment. So that is dialogic course, and these dialogic discourse are there in the literature. Okay, literature is not something authority or something like dictator used to do. Literature is something which has many voices and it can have different perspectives about the same topic. Now here we have the concept of polyphony. It is very easy to understand. Polyphony means it comes from the word music. You see, when you listen to a song, Sayyara tu to badla nahi hai. You see, that song does not play on. What is the difference between a song and a poem? What is the difference between song and a poem? Song is played with the help of musical instruments. Poem does not require musical instruments. Poem already has the metrical foot, syllable. The words are arranged by the poet in such a way that poem itself creates some music. It does not require the guitar. It does not require any musical instrument. So that is the difference between song and a poem. Song always need musical instrument. Otherwise the lyrics will not make sense. Sanyara tu to badala nahi hai. What's that? It requires musical instrument to become meaningful. So song, there's a difference between song and a poem. So now he came up with the concept of polyphony, which means song, music. In music, we have the sound of drums, we have the sound of saxophone, we have the sound of guitar, we have sound of piano, we have sound of, you can say, chan chan chan, something like that. Okay, so all these things create harmony and create a music that shoots the song. Polyphony means that there are a lot of voices, a lot of musics. All these come together and played harmoniously, and it creates a song. It has individual value also. Guitar has its own individual value. Drum has its own individual value. Trumpet, saxophone, whatever it is, it has its own significant individual value. Okay. Polyphony comes from music. Multiple melodies playing simultaneously, each maintaining independence while creating harmony together. That is what polyphony all about. Bakhtin applied the same polyphony in literature, where in Fyodor Dostoevsky's novel. Remember that the concept of polyphony is first applied in Dostoevsky's novel. Now he says that there are a lot of characters in a novel, just like the musical instrument, guitar, saxophone, piano, harmonium, or you can say mouth organ. So these are the people, have their individuality, as well as they all play together to create a musical novel. Okay, so that is what the famous thing about polyphony is, that all the great artists have this particular technique of polyphony in their works. In polyphonic novels, characters have their own individual voices. They speak for themselves, but then all they come and create harmonious situation in the novel. What happens in the traditional literature? Traditional literature, we have authorial voice. William Wordsworth. What does William Wordsworth used to do? All his characters, everyone, there is no harmony in all his characters. William Wordsworth used characters as tools to to tell the single worldview. To tell the single worldview. William Wordsworth used to control the characters. Solitary Reaper and all those poems. You see, William Wordsworth is everywhere in the poems of William Wordsworth. Author is controlling the characters. That is the traditional novels. I'm just talking about a poem, taking an example for you to understand. Okay, it is a novel, but I'm talking just for an example of William Wordsworth as a poet. Okay, William Wordsworth is everywhere in his consciousness. His characters are talking about himself, about the authors itself. William Wordsworth has a single worldview, that is the language of common man. But then here we have polyphonic novels. William Shakespeare has negative capability, said by John Keats. Bakhtin says Fyodor Dostoevsky's novel are polyphonic novel. I think Shakespeare drama are also polyphonic novels. Shakespeare's drama also has a lot of characters. And all of them are not trying to put the Shakespeare's point of view. All these characters have their own individuality in the dramas of Shakespeare. The same way, we have Fyodor Dostoevsky's novels where we have a lot of characters, independent characters. It has their own individuality. They have multiple voices. I hope you are getting the point. Crimes and Punishment is a novel written by Dostoevsky, and polyphony is one of the major part of this particular novel. Here we have Raskolnikov. There are other voices. There are a lot of other characters. We have Sonia, another character in this particular novel. Dostoevsky does not tell us that Raskolnikov is wrong. Instead, he allows each character speak for themselves, representing different worldviews that interact with each other. So that is what polyphony all about. Now here we have heteroglossia. Again, this is a very easy concept. Hetero means different or many. Glossia means language. Okay, this is a language. Heteroglossia, many languages within one language. Many languages within one language. It is very easy to understand. For example, Hindi. Hindi is not one language. It has many languages within Hindi. Okay, if you go to Bihar, you will listen some sort of other Hindi. If you come to Rajasthan, you will listen sort of another Hindi. If you go to Maharashtra, there will be Marathi accent in that Hindi. If you go to UP, Lucknow, there will be some Urdu concept or Urdu lehza in that Hindi. Okay, so that is what heteroglossia all about, like many language within one language. Now Bakhtin gives an example of peasant. Remember that. He gives an example of peasant who shifts between different language for different contexts. There is a peasant who goes to a church. He uses different words, different language for different context. When praying to God, he is using different language. When he is in family, when he is talking to family members, when he is talking to his wife, his children, he has different way of speaking the same language. Then he has folk song style, like when he is singing the songs. And then we have formal language when he is going to official administration work and he is speaking government works, he is speaking a different sort of language. Now here we have the social nature of language. Language is not something कि आप बस हिंदी बोल रहे हो. Language can have different, like it can tell you the sort of person you are talking to you. Okay, so for example, if you say pani, pani is a word that is a common word for everyday language. If someone say Bhrata Shri, mujhe jal dijiye. So it is not only telling about the person's way of speaking, it is also telling the background of a person. Okay, Bhrata Shri, mujhe jal dijiye. That is Sanskrit. So that means he must be some older man or someone, a scholar of Sanskrit language. So language को use करने से पता लग जाता है बंदा किस प्रकार का बंदा है वो. Okay, Then we have water. If someone is saying, hey bro, give me water, then it is actually speaking about that person, that he is somewhere from English speaking class. Same liquid, but each word tells you about the speaker's background. So here we have the concept of heteroglossia. I hope you have understood this concept also. So now we have chronotope. Chrono means time. Top means space. Okay, you can look it over here. Time and space, when fused together, they create novels. Time and space is always there in every novel, and each genre has different time and space. For example, you see Once Upon a Time in a Kingdom Far Away. Once upon a time in a kingdom far away. What does it mean? What it is showing? It is showing like you are trying to tell this magical story. Yes, you are trying to tell a magical novel. Once upon a time, the language. Once upon a time, a kingdom. Kingdom is space. When they combines together, they create fusion. They create novel. And when you read this particular line, once upon a time, there is a kingdom far away. When you read this line, immediately it will come into your mind that this is some sort of fairy novel, like someone is going to tell about fairy or some adventure is there, something like this. Every genre has different chronotope. For example, we have the road chronotope, Don Quixote, like this is an example. It is an adventurous novel. So road is a physical space, and time, like the journey which is on the road, that is telling about the duration and journey. You might have read Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. He's a Brazilian writer. He used to write in Brazilian or Portuguese language. Okay, I don't remember it exactly. And all his works are translated into English language from his native language. Alchemist, again, it is an adventurous novel. You can see there's a shepherd, there's a person who is trying to find something. So physical space is there, like he is walking in the Alchemist and he is exploring the world outside. So physical space is there, and then again time is also there, because it takes time to reach to a destination, and it took him 10-20 days, or I think 2 months or 3 months to reach his destination, right? The same way we have the castle chronotope. Physical space is castle, whereas the time is endlessly waiting. The princess is waiting endlessly in the castle, so that is also a time. So chronotope is already there in all the novels. Chronotope means time as well as space. Now here we have Carnivalesque. Carnivalesque means the novels that try to break the social hierarchies. Novels that try to break the social hierarchies. Carnivalesque came from the word carnival. What happens in carnival? In carnival, we try to break the hierarchies. For example, within Indian context, I will say Holi. Holi is a carnival for Indian people. What happens in Holi? Students splash color on teachers. Okay, when you play Holi with the teachers or students start splashing. Okay, you cannot do in the in the normal everyday life, but when there is a carnival, you can do all these things. Hierarchies flip. Here we have sacred becomes profane. Like you are in a temple. What you do in temple? You go into temple, you sit there and you do the rituals before the god. But when if there is a holy in the temples, you will not do the same. In temples, it will become a ground. The temples will become a ground of playing the holy. Official culture gets parody. Police officers are standing there and people are just shouting, oh, and they are just putting the holy colors on the police even. Okay, and they are just running away. So official cultures get parody. Then we have normal rules suspended. You cannot touch the strangers, but when it is a festival of Holi, you can touch the people, you can touch the strangers. Then we have bodies and earthiness celebrated. For example, we always say cleanliness is next to godliness. Like you should remain always clean, you keep the household clean. But in holy, this again, bodies and earthiness again is, you can say, flips. Cleanliness is next to godliness. This particular thing does not satisfies the carnival, does not satisfy the festival of Holi. So carnival is always there in literature. The great works who have written the great works, they always use Carnivalesque. You can see the god of small things, people say it is trying to break the hierarchy, the Midsummer Night Dream, and all these good novels. You can see the best-selling novels, Lolita, and all that. They are just trying to break the hierarchies, and that's why they are the best novels, the Booker Prize, and all those international bestsellers. So Bakhtin observed that all these famous novels have Carnivalesque in there. For example, Shakespeare, he gives an example. Shakespeare's disguises, the girls become boys, the boys becomes girls in the Shakespeare, and they have mixed social roles, and they start mocking the authorities, they start mocking the kings and queens. Like As You Like It, we have As You Like It, we have a joker who is Jack. Jack is a clown who is talking about the 7 stages of life. Okay, the world, the whole world is a stage. We cannot expect such sort of context from a clown. Clown is speaking these wisdom, these wise words. So Dostoevsky's novel, he gave an example of Dostoevsky. Again, he says that social classes mingle as equals, philosophy blends with comedy. And again, he gives an example of Rabila's works, where we have bodily humor, grotesque comedy, and literary parody. So in the Carnivalesque, the best novels are the novels where we have Carnivalesque, and that's what makes them the international bestseller, that makes them the legendary works. Here we have the conclusion. Carnivalesque does not just challenge authority, it tries to bring equality and celebrate even the lower class also. Lower class, the body, and it tries to make people laugh about it. Okay, laughter is there in the Carnivalesque, so that there should not be any fear in the Carnivalesque. Okay, novels that we are talking. The Carnivalesque overturns hierarchies using laughter and bodily celebration. In Holi, we are also celebrating, laughing, and all those doing these things. Okay, Holi can be the best example of Carnivalesque for Indian students to understand. Okay, it frees the people, and it suggests that we should be trying to change the society, but in which we are living, where there are a lot of hierarchies. Dialogism, we have already discussed, emerges through interaction with the past. Past में कोई word होगा apple, then only it will make sense in the present. Polyphony, multiple voices, we have musical instruments, guitar, piano, and all those things. Chronotope, time and space, we have already discussed. Carnivalesque, the same way we have discussed, like Holi, the example of Holi can be a best one. Heteroglossia means many languages exist within a single language. For example, the language of Hindi. Even if I am speaking English, I am not speaking English, my English is there where I have an accent of Tamil Nadu, of South, because I learned English while I was living in South India, in Tamil Nadu. So some sort of you can say accent is there in my English language, or you can say the Hindi language is there in my English language also, Indianness of English language. So that is what heteroglossia all about. So I hope you have understood all these points, and if you want to understand these concepts in very simple way, the whole English literature in very simple way, then you can subscribe to UGC NET English Literature course that we are providing to the students. Alright, so I will see you soon in the next video. I hope you found the video helpful. Do let me know in the comment section below. Then only it will encourage me to create more videos for you in the future. I will see you soon in the next video. That's it. Do like the video and subscribe the channel. That's it. Thank you.